Hello and welcome. I invite you wherever you're at to maybe take this practice in your bed if that feels the most comfortable and the most supportive for you. Either way, wherever you are at, I invite you to grab a couple of pillows, maybe a blanket or two. And I will be using a yoga bolster for a couple of the shapes, but you definitely do not need to have that. Again, just a pillow or two will work. And as you start to settle in here, I invite you to begin on your back. And for me, what feels the most comfortable here is to plant my feet pretty wide apart, wide enough so that my knees sort of fall in towards each other. And you're welcome to take your arms out by your sides, maybe gently rest your palms down on your stomach. And as you begin to settle in, maybe you start to tune into your breath. Starting to notice the rise and fall of your chest, of your belly, as you inhale and as you exhale. And if you'd like to take some slow movement here, you're welcome to bring your knees up towards your chest, maybe wrap your hands around your legs. And you're welcome to just find a place of stillness here if that feels best for you. Maybe you start to rock side to side if you'd like to bring some movement. And take your time here. If you are rocking side to side, I invite you to move with your breath. So that may be a little bit slower of a pace than me. It may be a little bit faster. There's no right or wrong here. Again, just tune into your breath. And then maybe even take some hip circles here if that feels nice. You're welcome to drop your knees to one side and hold, maybe the other side and hold. Couple more rounds of breath here. And if you'd like to follow me, I'm going to move into a child shape here. So you can either grab hold of the outsides of your feet and pull them towards you, or take your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes and just gently start to pull your feet towards you. So your knees start to come in towards your armpits. And again, maybe you start to find some stillness here or some movement, rocking side to side, whatever feels best. I like to take one leg and stretch it out a little bit longer, a little bit straighter. And then take the other leg, stretch it out. Again, there's no right or wrong here. Maybe you even close your eyes if they're not closed down already. Feel into your body here. A few more rounds of breath wherever you're at. And then if you are comfortable here, you are welcome to stay. If you are ready to move on, I am going to grab my bolster. Again, you do not need a bolster, maybe one or two pillows here, depending on the firmness and the thickness of your pillows. And I invite you to bring one or two pillows underneath you. So you are propping your hips up on the pillow or on the bolster. And it may take a few moments here to adjust. You want that pillow or that bolster to be underneath you in a way that feels really supportive so that you can let your entire body rest and really sink into it. So you're not holding yourself up in any way. You're just sinking into the floor or the bed, the bolster, the pillow, whatever is underneath you here. And I like to bring my feet wide apart and allow my knees to fall in towards each other so that I'm not holding any part of my legs up. as you start to settle into this shape, I really invite you to let go of any tension. Again, option here to close your eyes. Maybe you start to allow your shoulders, specifically the backs of your shoulders, to become just a little bit heavier towards the earth. Allow yourself to be supported by the bolster, the pillow underneath your hips. And maybe you start to deepen your inhales and your exhales just a little bit more. And if it feels right, I invite you to maybe start to notice your breath on your next inhale. Notice yourself pulling that breath from the very bottoms of your feet. So that breath on your inhale starts at the bottom of your feet from the earth, and it moves all the way up through your legs, all the way up into your belly. Maybe you hold for a moment or two. And then on your exhale, release that and allow that breath to move back through your legs, all the way through the bottoms of your feet to the earth. Maybe take this breath 1 or 2 more times, inhaling through your feet, your legs, up into your belly as you hold. And then exhale, let it go through your belly, your legs, your feet, all the way to the earth. Couple more times. As we move through this entire practice, you do not have to follow along. If you find a shape that you feel comfortable and you just want to stay there for a really long time, you are more than welcome. You do not have to continue to move and change shapes with me if that doesn't feel right for you. So if you would like to stay in this shape for longer, I invite you to do so. If you'd like to move to a different shape, go ahead and slowly start to push into your feet just enough so you can remove the pillow or the bolster. Go ahead and lower your hips all the way back down. And then maybe one more time, bring your knees in towards your chest. Maybe rock them side to side just briefly here. And then when you're ready, we're going to take what we call a sage twist. So again, go ahead and grab your bolster or your pillow or 2 pillows. And you're going to start to sit your hips to one side. So it doesn't matter your right or your left to start. And you're going to bring that pillow or bolster all the way up to touch your hips. And then when you're ready on an exhale, you can fold over your pillow or your bolster. And this may take a few moments to settle in and find the most comfortable variation. So as you can see here for me, my arms wrapping around the top of the bolster feels most comfortable and supportive for me. For you, it may feel better to just gently drop your palms down, one to one side of your pillow or bolster and one to the other side. Again, the goal here is to not have to hold any tension at all in your body. So you are fully supported by whatever is underneath you. Option here to maybe place a blanket between your knees just to give a little bit more cushion, a little bit more comfort. Again, whatever feels best for you here, there's no right or wrong. And as you start to settle into whatever variation feels best here, take a few more rounds of breath. yourself to just be. It is perfectly okay and normal for your mind to wander. And if it does, you can bring it back to your inhales and exhales. You can bring it back to noticing whatever part of your body is grounded towards the earth. Couple more rounds of breath here. And again, if you are perfectly content here, I invite you to stay. If you'd like to take this to the other side, you're welcome to do so now. So switching hips, whichever side you did not do, go ahead and take that side now. Again, your hips will be right up against the bottom of either your bolster or your pillow. And you may have to take a moment or two here to readjust, just like you did on the other side. And maybe notice if this side feels different. It's very likely that it does, and that's okay. It's not good or bad, it just is. And once you've found a variation here that feels the most supportive for you, I invite you to simply be with yourself in the present. And I say simply, but it's not so simple sometimes, and that's okay. Again, if your mind wanders, come back to your breathing. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Maybe even notice your heart beating. And we will be here for a few more rounds of breath. Again, if this is enough for you and you would like to stay right here, you are more than welcome to. If you would like to take one final shape with me, I invite you to slowly push your way up. Your head is the last to arrive. Take your time here, there's no rush. And for our last shape together, I am choosing to take my legs up the wall. So this is a very gentle inversion that is wonderful for bringing a sense of calm to your body. It helps to regulate your nervous system, blood pressure, heartbeat, all of the things. So if you are in a bed, maybe you take legs up the headboard, up the wall, whatever feels most accessible here. For me, keeping my legs straight does not feel the best, so I'm going to start to bend my knees and take a butterfly shape with my legs. So the bottoms of my feet will come together. And I'm having to adjust and readjust several times here just to get the most comfortable, supportive shape for my body. May look totally different for you, and maybe legs up the wall don't work at all, and that is okay. Maybe you just come to lie down on your back with some pillows, some blankets. Maybe you take a shape that we did earlier and settle into that. This is what we call our final resting shape, or our shavasana. And we will be here for a good amount of time. So I invite you, as you settle into this again, to be in the present. Maybe you start to bring awareness back to your breathing, back to your inhales and your exhales. And if you've gotten to this point in our practice together and you find that your mind is still in the past or in the future, or you can't stop your racing thoughts, maybe take a moment here and start to tune into your thoughts. So maybe there are some to-do lists, some worries, some anticipation of the future. Take another moment or two just to take inventory of all these thoughts. I invite you to maybe picture yourself wrapping them all up together in one spot. So anything that feels distracting, anything that you feel like does not serve your rest, your relaxation, your sleep, take all of that, bundle it together, and maybe place it outside the door or in a spot where you know you'll be able to come back to it when you need. And after you have taken that and placed it to the side, outside the door, wherever you have chosen, again, come back to your breath. Start to notice the rise and fall of your chest, of your belly. And maybe on each exhale, you release any further tension that may be hanging out in your body. Allow the back of your shoulders to be heavy, all the way down into your arms. Maybe start to bring that heaviness, that supportedness down into your back, your mid-back, your lower back, your hips. picture yourself sinking deeper towards the earth. Wherever you're at, I invite you to stay here as long as you need. And I will wrap up my part of the practice here. Again, you're welcome to stay for a few more minutes. The music will continue. If you'd like to just listen and just be wherever you're at here, I wish you rest. I wish you calm. And I wish you peace.